and today we'll be bringing to you top. Well, we start from the PPG controversy, where Rivers United insist on second position in the MPFL. Max Exodus hits Sunshine Stars over player staff unpaid salary. NFF to short secretariat after unnamed official contract COVID-19. FIFA cancelled next round of international fixtures outside Europe. 3 LC assure fans of MPFL promotion and next season. Zamfara Athletics Association has no power to remove me. Someone is saying that this morning. We'll definitely be looking at the Europa and Champions League game. So we are not alone in the studio this morning. We'll have a special guest. So sit down, relax, don't change the diet. After the short break, we'll go full blast.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Sport Hour, beaming live to you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria TV. Our guest today is a senior colleague, a cerebral journalist, sport journalist with Al Jazeera newspaper, and is the editor of the online platform glimmernews.com, Mr. Joe Alajayo. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jide. Good morning, Wale. It's my pleasure to be here.
You look very good.
Thank you so much.
How's the ministry?
Oh, we are moving
the general ministry.
We are moving it.
Okay. Okay, so we'll begin with the very first story today, which has to do with the Rivers State Commissioner for Sports, Boma Iyaye, has dispelled rumors that Rivers United has agreed a deal with the Nigeria Football Federation to accept a decision on the interpretation of the points per game calculation for the 2019 season. The league management company applied the weight down per game calculation to declare Enyimba second on the domestic league log ahead of Rivers, who were earlier runner-up to the Leaders United after the PPG was used. It means Enyimba will represent Nigeria in the CAF Champions League, while Rivers will campaign in the less prestigious Confederations Cup. Rivers, however, there have been issues about this PPG for a while now, and before the lockdown came, Rivers was second, but after they used the PPG, Rivers came third. And of course, every club wants to play in the Champions League.
Of course.
Rivers now be playing in the CAF Confederations Cup, which they don't want.
They want to play in the Champions League.
So, Mr. Joe, how do you see this whole scenario whereby Rivers are still insisting, even when LMC has said, no, you are not second, Enyimba is second. Remember, Enyimba was even fifth on the table.
Nice.
Good morning once again. It's very unfortunate that we are having a sports sector that is bereaved of crises and then controversies left and right center. For me, when you look at the decision the NFF / LMC made, to me, even if I am in the positions of River United, I will say more than what I am seeing right okay. They are seeing right now.
Why that?
The truth of the matter is that when we are talking about, we have two factors here. If you look at the PPG, that is points per game, divided by the total number of the games you play. River United play 25 games, while the Enyimba play
lesser games, 5 lesser games.
20 games. If you want to make a decision, when the club owners make their decision that okay, we are handling this league and then we are going to use PPG, you must make sure that you know the factors or the point you want to use. If you are talking about head-to-head, when you want to use head-to-head to judge this thing, it means two teams must have played. This game is only one game that was played in Aba. So it means technically the head-to-head must have been taken away from the points to be used. And then if you look at the goal difference, the River United have 13 goal difference, while Enyimba has 10. So I don't know the reason why NFF and LMC just decide that okay, because they have the percentage that is higher than that of River United. So to me, whenever you want to make a decision as a body, you look at every opportunity, so that it will not be bringing crisis left and right, because If we are to be Enyimba will even do more than this. If we are to be other club, they will do more than that. So for me, I think NFF and LMC, they got it wrong in that angle. If you want to use head-to-head, you make sure that we are using head-to-head. And then if it is head-to-head, it means the second team must play.
Or is it because Enyimba's chairman is a part of the and the need for,
you can't actually argue it because we know that Enyimba has a good record playing at the continent.
But they failed last
They have won the Champions League two times back to back. They failed last season, no doubt about that. They got to the quarterfinals of the Confederation Cup. We know that pedigree when it comes to the African continent. They have played lesser matches, 5 lesser matches than Rivers United. And Rivers United, maybe the LMC and the NFF felt their greenhorns going into the CAF competition will be very, very big for them. They will be overwhelmed with the competition. And they felt this Enyimba side, they have a good technical know-how. They have the experience. They have what it takes to actually play at the continent. I feel that by this time, Enyimba should just be allowed to go for
the greenhorns. Spring of surprises.
They can actually start from the Confederation Cup. They can actually start from the Confederation Cup. It's still a good.
When they won the Champions League there.
Enyimba with greenhorns.
So to say.
In 2002, 2003 season.
Sorry, in court to say they were the old guards. The old guards have failed you in the last few seasons. Why don't you give the new guard opportunities to perform? That's the question.
It's still good anyway. It's still a valid point. I can't actually argue with that. But since Enyimba has shown what they can actually offer, mind you, if Enyimba should have played all those 5 matches that they didn't have to play, they will actually get the more needed point for them to actually, move at the top of the table.
They could have lost matches.
They could have
won. They could have lost.
Okay, look at their record. Look at their record. Their home matches last season and their away record.
You see, last season. I talk about the cancelled one or the previous.
The cancelled one. We are talking about the cancelled one.
So you never can tell. They could have lost. They could have drawn. Why Rivers United with a flying eye? They're performing very well.
The truth of the matter is that I want to disagree with what Wale said, because I believe that a journey of 1,000 miles
begins one step.
Begin with just a step. Plateau United, when last did they represent Nigeria? Is it not once or twice? See, to be sincere with ourselves, let us leave politics, sentiments, and all this relationship in sport. That is when we are going to get it right. I think what NFF does, or what NFF, LMC, they are working together. What they need to do is that it is not about the name of the club. It is not about the person that is ruling the club. It's about the growth of the games.
Yes,
because people outside, they are
listening. But mind you, there are 2 points per game. There's one that will have WPPG and there's PPG.
Yes.
So I think at this point in time, what the LMC actually used was the WPPG.
Yes.
That's what brought Enyimba to actually fight the Champions League. So you can actually argue if the LMC and the NFF, they have the right to use the WPPG and they have the right to use the PPG. So anyone that actually favors them.
WPPG is weight points per game.
Yes.
So that they'll not get confused.
They'll not get confused. And the PPG is points per game. So that is it. I feel this matter is just done and dusted. Let allow Enyimba to actually go to the Champions League. Rivers United can go to the Confederation. No, they have not submitted the list. They are still waiting for final approval from the Sports Ministry and so that they can actually proceed to the
they can fight their cause until it's over for them.
Of course, they can actually fight their cause until it's actually over for them. So we'll go to our next story. House of Akure is set to rebuild after losing 4 of its key players to league rivals. The players are Olorum Olorun Leke Wojo, who has joined Abia Warriors, and also Jide Fatukun, who will be filing out with Kwara United. And also the other players are Antonio Omaka, who has pitched his tent with Egimba, and also Wasu Jumo, who will be playing for Plateau United. The Akure Gunners, who finished 11th in the domestic league last season, allegedly who has been heavily linked with a move to Lobin Stars. 3 months salary. His assistant also owns 7 months salary. What is this issue of players actually, moving from one club to another? We saw a whole lot of the Abia United, Abia Warriors, I beg your pardon, they're actually recruiting massively. The likes of Kwara United, yesterday they just announced that the players actually joined the club. So what do you see players moving from one club to another ahead of the start of the next season?
The truth of the matter is that it's good for someone to look for greener pasture.
Okay, definitely.
Even we are as a journalist, if you have an opportunity, a better offer elsewhere, you can go ahead. But what I just want to pick out of this exodus of players from Sunshine is that is why I used to say it. Sports is not supposed to be under government. Do you know that this thing is happening to Sunshine Stars of Akure because of the election, the forthcoming election in that particular place? Because the club is being owned by state government.
Yes.
If we are to be private-owned club, I believe the owner must have looked for a way of settling the issue of the salary that is making.
That's a business investment.
Let us ask ourselves, what led to the exodus of the player? It's because their money has not been paid.
For 10 months.
And then the state government are putting all their arsenal, all their energy on the forthcoming election. That's why I used to say it. Until in Nigeria, when you want to develop sports in Nigeria, let it be business oriented. People are using it like, okay, because Katsina State has a club, Sunshine must have a club. And then if you look at it, you don't put the right people
in the
at
right
the right
place.
We said this last week. Yes. The chairman, the secretary, they're all politicians.
All politicians.
Look at what happened in Atlant United when accountant has been
interim manager, interim chairman of the club.
That's an employee who was employed by the chairman of the club. He goes behind, makes them to sack the board. He's now acting as the chairman because he's fronting for some politicians.
It's just so sad at this part of the world that we still take sport as recreational, where we get to see politics right, left, and center. Because most of all these MPFL club, because they will actually bring their own players. They know that, okay, if a player comes from this particular local government, most especially that local government will tend to support maybe the governor during the election and all that. So we need to start. We need to.
And we have only one private club in MPFL.
I will have just about two. That's MFN and Ifeanyi.
One club in Akwa
Ibom. Okay. Dankada FC.
Okay, yes.
So
Dankada, I
see that the sector of the Akwa Ibom state government.
They have their own separate.
Yes, I know.
Even if it's like Abia Warrior and Yimba. Even if the state government is like just learning, assisting, and it's not as if it's government that is bankrolling everything. When you want to buy toilet roll, it's government. When you want to buy this one, it's government. And then the government that you are banking on, they are not ready to even do that at this particular time. I feel
if the government can actually fix all the sector in the country, allow investors to come in and then answer sport. I think that will actually yes, they can only regulate. I think that will actually boost the development of football in Nigeria.
Okay. Let's go to our next story, which has to do with the Nigerian Football Federation. Says its secretariat will be shut down after one of its officials tested positive to coronavirus. The federation also said his members of staff will probably undergoing the test right now as we speak, at the Sunday Dakaro House, National Stadium in Abuja. According to a statement quoting the General Secretary, that was talking about Mohamed Sanusi, say, while addressing managing of the staff, that apart from him testing positive, I also had issues and I had to go for tests when I was feeling ill and uncomfortable. But the truth is that most of us have had contact with one another over the days. thus it is important we do this test. I want to appreciate the federal government immensely for the effort so far to contain this pandemic. My question is, why has NFF refused to name the official who has contracted COVID-19? Is it a shame for it to have? It's not a shame.
It's not a shame.
And let the people know that, okay, it's you that has virus. So I've been in touch with this man in the last few days. So let me go and meet him.
Yes.
You never can tell. You could have gone in touch with this man.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
So I think the NFF have not been fair in this particular one. They should have actually released the person's name who actually tested positive to corona. Maybe the person is a top official. That's why they are getting to hide the name and don't want to release the name. But it's actually good so that all other people who cannot even who didn't actually know that this particular person actually tested positive, so that for them they can actually know and get themselves tested and to be sure and all that.
They'll be going through the minds of all the staff in the NFF. So this man asked COVID-19, and I was sitting in his office yesterday. I'm scared.
As far as I'm concerned, I think it's not normal for them not to reveal the identity of whoever might have contacted the COVID-19, because even if it is top official, I don't see any harm in doing that, because it will even help the NCDC to be able to trace those people that, because if I'm having with Wale now, God forbid, let's say I'm having with Wale now, I will know that I have a relationship with Wale. It will help. By the time they were asking me questions, I will say, okay, on Thursday, by 10 a.m. I was with Wale on the. So it will help them, but to me, I think it's a lesson for all the NDAs. Jide, Wale, you need to go out and see the way people are treating this COVID-19 with levity hand. Go to MDAs, you see them, they are not even taking care of themselves.
Necessary protocol and all that.
And then it's not good. And then NFF is more or less international organization, because they relate with CAF, they relate with anybody can come from. Assuming they are not, there is no restriction on international flight. You must have seen people from different parts of that particular place. For me, I believe that they should be able to put a very good mechanism on ground. I've been to NFF like 4 weeks ago. You hardly see the hand washing base, you hardly see the sanitizer.
And all that. COVID-19.
I have my own sanitizer, I have both the run and everything. Because prevention, they say, is better than cure. So it's a lesson for all the MDA.
So I think the glass house has to,
Let me say something now. This morning I was just thinking widely, and no, I said, what if this is a way for NFF to siphon the money that FIFA is coming in? Now, because if I tell us, you know very well that in the last few years, $20,000 disappeared or got burnt in NFF office. Allegedly. Or sometimes another story was another person was going to put up generator, came back upstairs. The money had disappeared from his
wing.
Allegedly too.
It disappeared. So I was just thinking, well, what if this is a gimmick from NFF? I said, by the time they come out from 40 days, they say,
I don't feel it's a gimmick, because NFF will not want to actually toy with Nigerians at this point in time.
Even the money we are talking about is not within their reach.
I was just thinking that anything, NFF is not not transparent enough for someone to say, yes, these people are. If they lack transparency, every move they do, every step they take,
Nigeria will have no doubt. Will have no
cause. Not of the NFF. Yes. I think they should just put their house in order. That is the truth of the matter.
We don't do transparency,
because even any news, even children, youths, even the old, you see them. By the time they pick the newspaper, even if it is newspaper, the first thing is to check the back page and check the sports. If they check the sports, they are okay. So they should make it a place that will be okay for them. You understand? No, I don't think this one will be another super story for NFF, because the money is not with them.
Okay, so we just hope that the NFF actually, get to put in place all the COVID-19 protocols, so that more people will not, contact the coronavirus. So we go to our next story, where FIFA on Tuesday announced international matches will not be played will not be played outside Europe. Is opened at the end of August to reduce the travel of players. FIFA said in a statement that it was placing the period scheduled from August the 31st to September 18 with a new window from January 24 to February 1 and next year. The statement with all confederation except UEFA. This means that no European player would to play with their national team. The FIFA said that this new period in January and February has been chosen with the African Cup of Nations in mind, with dates to be determined at a later date. And FIFA also said in its council had decided on these calendar changes in response to the global disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. What do you actually make of this? FIFA actually get to cancel all matches from outside Europe.
Okay. If you look at their statement, I will just tag this in as mixed feeling, because the reason why I say it's mixed feeling is that it has advantage and then it has a lot of disadvantage, especially to the other continents. If you look at that, they say non-Euro player will not travel. It means if Nigeria is playing in January between January 20 to February 1st, according to their statement now, it means all our foreign players that are playing in Europe will not have access to come to the country to come and play the qualifier or whatever game that.
But only European nations will play.
So that's why I say it's mixed feeling. And then if you look at the COVID-19, you cannot just style away with COVID-19.
Yes.
Because we all know how COVID-19 shut down the whole world for more than 2-3 months. Even we are still feeling the impact of the COVID-19. That's why I say it's mixed feeling. But it will affect the other continent, like Nigeria now, where most of our players come from Europe to play qualifier. And then that's why I say it's mixed feeling. I will still say it, because this one we have the NFF and the coach
to look
inward. At least look at the home base player, because that's the opportunity that you had you have at hand now. Because if you look at a Ganetron list, you will see 70% or 80% of players come from Europe, from foreign country. Let's say you are now having 20% in the country. I think this one is a very good one for Nigeria, because it will make the coach to think that, okay, well, let me go to Sunshine, let me go to Enyimba, let me go to MFM and get my player that will play the qualifier. That's why I say it's mixed feeling. It's good, and then it also has its own.
But then I'll not blame FIFA as well too, because now they know that Europe is the only continent that has actually tried to curtail the effects of COVID-19.
And mind you that the one which the COVID-19 has actually hit them massively.
Now with the league resumption, the Champions League, Europa League, the various league ending, they're able to even restart their football. So they are sure of Europe being able to curtail any but they're not sure of Africa.
Africa, yes, that's true.
They're not sure of Asia. In fact, Asia is even worse. They're not sure of other continents.
Even Brazil.
Yes.
It's not Europe.
They're not America. Yeah. They're not even sure about
most of their players, they domicile in Europe and other continents.
See, they know that Europe is the only continent that is able to, a very large extent, curtail the spread of COVID-19, and they're able to restart their league conveniently without any issue.
But this is going to be a massive blow for Coach Ganetron.
It's a massive blow
because we know that.
So why do you have the what's called the home base Super Eagles?
No, because he has said that.
We are not calling. See, our problem is complicated in the country.
We rely on foreign players.
Those home-based players when we are playing CHAN.
Yes.
But we are not playing CHAN.
Our league is not on. And Roy said he does not even believe in the home-based players. So
it's making it more difficult because he goes out and looks for players who don't even know where they come from.
No.
You just say a Nigerian, maybe an American-born Nigerian.
Yes.
Or
maybe you just get to score maybe like 2 goals in his club side. They would don't know the next day Super Eagles call up and all that. So at this point in time, it's going to be difficult, and we are going to be playing Syria alone.
In his new contract, he was told that, guy, you have to stay in Nigeria and pick your players from Nigerian league. You have to watch Nigerian Football League now. But anyway, the Nigerian Football League is even closed.
But
it's not even on.
Are they going to implement
But mind you, this might not be another excuse for Coach Ganetron if he fails to qualify the country for the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon, because he will say because he didn't have the services of the foreign-based player. So at this point in time, it's kind of tricky. So at this point in time, Coach Gennaro needs to start working and see how you can build a formidable home-based team.
Go and bring them home. I didn't know for him.
How many players do we have in South African League?
We have in Ghana League.
Apart from our coach, I said our coach, our goalkeeper.
Where we are going to have challenge.
I didn't know for him.
As we speak, South Africa, they have resumed their
league.
But we don't even know where to. Amadu said that either ending of August or September, tentatively. So when are you going to now pick up your players?
September.
When the team are not being played?
You have not even tested. You have not even tested all our MPFL players just to even show you if they have that COVID.
How many Nigerians have been tested?
How many Nigerians? It's just.
It's unfortunate, but then we move on and we pray that. No, why should we pray?
We keep praying at every point in time. What we need to actually do what is needed for us to
cannot do anything outside prayer. Even those people that want to go and commit crimes, they will say that God just see me through.
But at this point in time, we should not be praying. We should be doing the work. We should be doing the work.
Then we will not pray. Let the work succeed.
Factor for us.
So we don't pray that
everything will pray. Everything will.
No. Yeah. Anyway, God take charge. So let's now go to our next story, where we have the shooting stars of Ibadan, the shooting stars of Sport Club of Ibadan. Evidence of stealing promotion to the top flight football next season. According to the club's general manager, Rashid Balogun, in a report released by the club's media officer, Tose Mojola, the club would have returned to top flight football if the 2019-20 season was not cancelled. The Oluyole Warriors were having a good run in the botched season, but had their work cut out by the long break in the Nigerian National League, that's NLL, and the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, which eventually led to the calling of the whole season. Balogun said, as painful as the failure of the team to secure promotion tickets was owing to the force majeure, the team has put that behind and it has shifted concentration to the incoming season. 3SC is one of the big, used to be one of the biggest clubs in Nigerian football, and in the last few years they have,
So he just said they have a good run of the season in NLL, that they just played like 5 matches and all that.
Okay, yes, 5 matches. It was a good run for all of them because there are many clubs.
Some played 5, some played 3, some played 2.
And probably the club, 2 seasons ago, they were close to come back to the MPFL.
Yes, it was a worry wolf
that cut them short. Say, guy, go back to the level. 3SC is a popular club. It's a well-known club.
Shooting Stars.
Everybody knows Shooting Stars, just like a Bendel Insurance.
Of course, lack of mismanagement and all that actually caused the club is place in the club.
I say that they are showing their fans that by next season when it starts, we don't know when the league will start anyway, but when they start, they will go back to MPFL.
I'm confident that they can actually do it, because we know 3FC, they have this history that's been working for them. They played well on the continent and all that, and they've been playing well in the Nigerian League also, and they have produced.
African Cup, to win trophy for Nigeria
in the continent, and they have produced brilliant players like the likes of Pastor Pascal, who has played in the club and also went forward to play. So as it is not only Pastor Pascal, the likes of more players are actually coming from that particular club and all that.
I actually agree with you.
So at this point in time, I feel they can actually move away from the NLL and also come to the Nigerian Top Flight League.
Like Mr. Joel said, let government hands of sport administration.
Of course.
So 3SC is not a small club. Heavily in that club and bring them back to just the way better insurance. Just like the last season where the Edo State government were trying to, they invested heavily. In fact, the deputy governor is even a player.
Yes.
For better insurance. He plays for them. That's just how much interest they have. But this club have prestige. They have the honor. But over the years, by the time they will bring in government patronage, everything that dies down. Give 3SC to someone like Babaji.
Yes.
He will pump in money.
Oh, yes, he will pump things around.
that's talking of Keshington, Chief Keshington. You pop in money into this club and bring it up because it's a brand.
May I say?
You know what? It go beyond making him out like the man that is optimistic of bringing 3SC to the NBL. It's about determination. You must work for it.
Definitely.
Like I said,
support the team.
When we are discussing about the sunshine, look at it now. The Oyo State government is the owners of the 3SC. Yes. And then, interest must come.
Of course.
Forget about
Of course.
The governor is trying his best. Forget about it. That is my state. I know what I am talking about. The governor is trying his best. But the truth of the matter, by the time they put everything in place, they would like to put those people that are very close to them that don't have
about
football generally. And then they will not get the result. If you like pump millions of naira into sport without proper and good management, it will still go down the rate.
Right.
That is the truth of the matter. That is what me I just want.
Because we have seen that in our sports administrators, only very few of them had played sport at one level or the other. Most of them never even played anything. They had nothing to do with sport, but just have to probably love the sport and they came in on board. Or no. You are good in this. Maybe you voted for me or you were part of my campaign team. Let me give you this as to compensate you for your efforts. That's where I see it. So that's what is even going on. But the moment that they start aligning the real people that play this sport, look at FIFA, look at CAF. If I let everyone talk about FIFA right now, so at least most of them that are in FIFA play this game.
Yes, play the game.
Look at the Premiership. Most of them that play this game and play the game, they edge this. But in LMC, how many of them play this game?
Of course.
Veterans. How many of them play this game?
So you still boil down to politics, and at the end of the day,
no, the big guys, the top shots say, okay, let's give you this position as compensation for what you have done for us. That's it. And when they now take over, they bring in their own people who have nothing to do with sport. Okay, be my secretary, be my account officer, be my PA. Those ones now, that's how they start spreading their wings, and they now become like, if I can say, like Irumole. They become mini gods in there.
So at this point,
to take them out is not going to be a problem. Ginger Kocha wants to become Delta State FA. He ran for his life.
Yes. Even Victor Peba wanted to be
all his brains,
the FIFA president.
To become even NFF president is a challenge because they fought against him physically. I'm sure spiritually was involved.
Same thing as what is really happening presently in Ivory Coast. Did the Robber want to become the FA boss? But it is even the player union are actually working against him. So it just shows you that those people who actually know what it takes to actually move sports in Africa forward, they are not being given the opportunity to actually do that, and which is not actually good for the sport, for the country. So I will go to our next big story, where the president of Athletic Federation of Nigeria, Honorable Ibrahim Gusso, has said the chairman of Zamfara State Athletics Association does not have the power to remove him as the chairman. Gusso further stated that his purported removal does not in any way affect his position as the AFN president. According to Gusso, the director of sports, Zamfara State Director of Development, Ishaka Ishmael, the election into the office of the president of the federation and its board is not by appointment but by a democratic process of election and by the Congress of the EFN. It will be recalled that Chairman in a statement said that Gusso was removed as the Zamfara athletic boss after extensive deliberation by the management and the stakeholder of the association. The statement added that Jamilu Gusso has been appointed as the new chairman of the state athletics body, but Gusso said much as may be ignorance of the extant law and the guidance regulating the election of a person into the office of the president of the EFN and the removal of office. I do not expect him to be ignorant of this recent judgment of the Federal High Court, which reaffirmed me as the president of the EFN, as well as a court declaration of the supremacy of the constitution of the EFN. With respect to the modus operandi of the EFN, Gusso further stated that his position of the chairman of the Zamfara State Athletic Association was by election and not by appointment. And neither the Director of Sport, Directorate of Sport Development, Zamfara State, nor his management has the power to remove an elected chairman from office. Mr. Joel, what do you actually make of this brouhaha that has been happening in the AFM, which we have seen a new twist coming from the Zamfara State Directorate of Sport Development, having to actually release a letter to actually sack the Guso as the chairman of the Athletics Association in that particular state?
Honestly, it is unfortunate once again for us to allow the crisis to be disrupting activities of the sport. But the truth of the matter is that when we are talking about Athletic Federation of Nigeria, to me, after football, I think the next game should be the athletic.
Yes, I agree totally.
And then we should not allow the sentiment, the crisis, the power play to destroy that particular federation. Me, I have been following this matter right from the beginning of the issue, which we all know.
Yes, of course.
But me, I just want to say is that I am not a judge, and neither am the government that can decide, say, okay, we are doing this thing. But what I want to just appeal to all the gladiators in AFN is that let them try as much as possible to come to the table and settle the matter amicably for the benefits of the game, for the growth of the game and the growth of athletes. Do you know how many people, I mean athletes they have their employment through Athletic Federation of Nigeria?
And AFN is even the biggest.
It's one of the biggest
federation.
It's bigger than NFF in terms of the size of the people that are inside this game.
Yes, of course.
It has to do with long jump, has to do with
plenty events and all that.
Football is just one.
Yes, football is just one.
Athletics, long jump,
track,
field,
hurdles and all that, short put, javelin and all that, high jump.
So I don't see the reason why they allow crisis to affect such a huge federation.
But don't you think there is a kind of power play going underground? Why will a director of sport remove someone who was elected? Not even appointed. He was elected as the Zamfara State Athletic Chairman. Don't you think there is a whole lot of power play playing underground?
The challenge, you know, I told you when I started discussing this matter, is about power play. And then it will not take us to anywhere. If you look at how we released from Guso, he's from Zamfara. It's Jamil Guso. Why is he Guso?
Guso everything. Guso.
I don't know whether
when I got the news, I was so confused.
Which of the Guso?
Which of the Guso again? So it means everybody in Zamfara, their name is Guso.
And
so
and the state capital still is Guso.
Is Guso. Maybe that's why they are naming everybody Guso. But what I will just say, it is unpleasant news. Even as a stakeholders in sport, this is the thing that's supposed to give us joy. Assuming we have Olympic this year, do you know that we are going to have serious challenge?
Yes, of course.
Because when we have crisis, even in our home as a married man, if your house is not in order, you will feel the heat. The wife will feel the heat. The children will feel the heat. And then it will not take the family to anywhere. So, for me, I will just appeal to all the gladiators, both the minister, let me just read their name, both the minister, the directors, the Guso himself, all the board members, everybody. They should just come together for the benefit of the game. It's not for their own selfish benefit. What are they fighting for?
Money.
What are they fighting? It's not interest.
His interest.
Let us be frank.
Did they say they still boil down to money?
Everything still boils down to money now. Because by the time the ministry gives them money, by the time WA, that's what Athletic gives them money. What's it called again? CAA. On the African level, give them money. All the still money. Sponsors
also.
It's still money because they will not add, they will still. So all the
interest and all that still boil down to money.
All the play still boils down to money.
I think we just have to. I will just have to, shade our sword. Get, to put the interest of the nation first before any personal interest going forward.
Is it right? Is it morally right for Guso to be the head of Zamfara Athletics and still head AFN?
Okay. The truth of the matter is that
is it morally right?
He is very correct. He's very right, because before you can become a president, you must come from zone. Let me give you one narrative.
Yeah, I know that one.
During the last election at this National Stadium here, the then president of cricket, Emeka Oyama, the only thing that disqualified him is that he did not emerge. So before you can be a board in any federation, you must come from your zone. You must be elected from your zone. So to me, it's very right that for you to hold a position at the national, at the federation level, you must be representing your zone. That is what I know.
And some quarters even they are arguing that if you say Gusso should be removed as the president of AFN in court, if he's sacked from the position of the chairman of Zamfara State Athletic chairman, we all know that Olamide George also was removed from the Ondo State Athletics as a chairman in 2019. He was removed from the board. We didn't actually hear anything that they were going to remove him as the vice president of AFM. So you see, there's a whole lot of power play going on in the AFM that you should not be so.
Anyway, as you said, they should just settle the matter and let the athletes have their field. Okay, anyway, so now let's now go to the Europa League and the Champions League, where we saw Bayern defeating Barcelona 8-2 to meet against Lyon, and they won 3-0 and they're playing the finals on Sunday. Mr. Joe, who do you put your money, or which club, which team between Bayern and PSG to win this season's Champions League?
Honestly, it's going to be a very big game.
I've already chosen Bayern.
It's going to be a very big game. If you look at the two sides, the PSG, they are just coming for the first time to play their first ever final. And then FC Bayern have played at least 10 times. They won 5 times, and then they lost 5 times. This will be the 11th time. If you look at it, they have all it takes to emerge as winner, because experience, they say, it makes a man. They had the experience, and then if you look at the game they have been playing, even right from the beginning of this season, right from the preliminary stage, they have been beating everybody with wide margin. Can you imagine if Bayern Munich can just in the 2 leg beat Barca 8 goes to 2?
Just 1 leg.
And then let me say 9 goes to 1, because it was
Bayern actually scored.
And then yesterday we saw what they played. Though Lyon had a couple of chances in the beginning, but they could not bury the game. But as for me, I will give it to the Bayern Munich.
Okay, because of our time, let's just... Sevilla and Inter Milan. No doubt about it. Sevilla, they are 5-time champions of the Europa Cup. No, Inter Milan have won 3 times. 3 times Europe Champions League title, then 3 times Europa title. It's going to be a battle from the blast of the whistle to the end of the game, because we know Sevilla, they have this experience working for them when it comes to the Europa League. Why Inter Milan, with the coming of Antonio Conte, with a new brand team, the likes of Lukaku, Martinez, banging in the goals, showing impressive performance with our own Victor Moses. I feel tomorrow's final is going to be a cracker, a tough one for every footballer. As it is presently now, I will put my money on Inter Milan, because they are the one that actually need this particular trophy at the most.
I agree with you. You are in spirit.
I agree with you. Okay, Mr. Joe, thank you for gracing our show today. We thank you for coming around at the very short notice. Thank you very much, Mr. Joe.
Thank you very much.
So, viewers, this is how much we can bring to you today, and we hope you have enjoyed every bit of today's show. We hope that we'll see you again, same time, same station next week. But before we leave, we're asking now to ensure that you keep yourself safe from coronavirus. Obey the guidelines set up by the authorities. Keep your social distancing. Wash your hands regularly, or use an alcohol-based sanitizer, and always use your face masks. I remain Olushalolu today.
Okay, from me, Olawale Ayeni. See you same time, same station next week. God bless.
Ever wondered how easy it would be if your bank was part of your life? Sort of like an assistant, a buddy, and a plug.
Alert, you there?
Always alert, sir.
I see what you did there. Am I up to date? What was that?
Your repayment has just been done. By the way, I found a cheaper ticket for your flight.
Awesome.
Should I pay for it?
Yes, do that. Also, schedule my run for 7:19 a.m. tomorrow. I missed it this morning.
Already done.
What else?
Grocery shopping. The list has been sent to your phone.
Perfect. Shall we?
All done. Just get ready for your date.
All right, cool.
Alert. Simple, reliable, and convenient. A smarter way to bank.
Crossfire is a program that treats controversial topics on diverse issues surrounding the church and the society.
Technology drove the inflow or the outbursts of people having Bible because of printing technology. Same way, the digital revolution has also made it possible for people to have Bibles in various formats in their hands.
As an Anglican, I believe in Anglicanism. And Anglicanism is standing on the tripod of scripture, tradition, and reason. When we are about to read the Holy Gospel, all members will be made to stand up. Assuming the Gospeler read from the phone, and he says this is the Gospel of Christ, you are likely to confuse a lot of people. Because people will be seeing phone in your hand.
In the history of Holy Communion, we've never heard that somebody contacted the deeds from the other person.
I think, sir, the truth is that when people are gathered together and anything happens, whether it is an earthquake or it is a disease or it spreads faster and there are more fatalities, that's just what I'm talking about.
The first evangelist in the Bible was a woman, the woman of Samaria that Jesus met at the well. What did this woman make Jesus?